friends, another habitat that we're going to talk about. Now, we've talked about the forest and the woods, the woodland animals. We've talked about the pond is a habitat. Here is the desert. That's another habitat where animals live, because a habitat is where animals live. That's right. So we're going to talk about the desert, okay? What part of the book is this? It's the spine. What are these called? Pages. Title page. Very good. The back of the book. The front of the book. The title of the book. Sheila Rivera is the author. What does the author do? The author writes the words. Good. So Sheila Rivera is the author. She wrote the words. Sheila Rivera is not the illustrator, because if you look at these pictures, look at these beautiful pictures. Someone didn't draw those. They took pictures with their camera. What's that called? Remember when we did our community helpers? Who takes pictures with a camera? The photographer. So Sheila Rivera is the photographer, not the illustrator. Okay, because the pictures aren't drawn. They're taken with a camera. Okay? So desert. Let's see what animals live in the desert. Can you tell me something that you know about the desert? Yeah, it's very hot. You're right. Yep, lots of sand. Okay? What is a desert? Look at, see all the sand? What is a desert? It is a place that gets very little rain. Look at, it's all dry. No mud here. It doesn't get hardly any rain at all. Lots of sand, no rain. Some deserts are cold, some deserts are hot. This desert's cold, this desert's very hot. No rain. A desert is a kind of habitat, which we already talked about. A habitat is where plants and animals live. Okay, Miss Donna has to remember that it's not just animals that live in a habitat, it's plants too. So here's one of the animals that lives there. I think it's a warthog. Do you see it? They live in the desert. Yep. Trees grow in the desert, and cactuses grow in the desert. Look at, yes, it's hot. So we have trees. Look at that weird tree. You don't see those around here. When I look outside, I do not see those, because these only grow in the desert. We don't live in a desert. And look at the cactus. Cactus have those, those prickly things. If you touch them, it's going to hurt. So cactuses grow in the desert where it's hot, and cactus don't need a lot of rain so they can grow. Uh-oh. Snakes live in the desert, and owls live in the desert. Look at that snake. Yep. Snake, like rattlesnakes, live in the desert, and owls. And we have owls that also live in the forest and the woods. So owls live in the woodland habitat and the desert habitat. And I think they live in the pond habitat too. They live in a lot of different habitats. Foxes and coyotes live in the desert, and spiders spin their web in the desert. Now, do you remember the fox? He was in the woodland and forest habitat too, and so was the spider. So lots of animals can live in lots of different habitats, not just one, okay? The mountain lion looks for food, and a lizard warms himself on the rock. So there's the mountain lion, lives in the desert. And there's the lizard, always on a rock, basking themselves in the sun. Basking means laying in the sun and getting nice and warm. They love to do that. So do snakes. Okay, so two more animals that live in the desert. Oh, camels walk across the sand. Look at that camel. We know that camels live in the desert and they have humps on their back where they store their water. Okay? Let's see. I think that might be it, you guys. Yep, that was it. Okay? So most deserts are covered in sand. Some deserts are hot during the day and cold at night. Okay? They don't get very much rain at all. Camels are the largest desert animal. We saw a picture of them right there. Camels can go a long time without water. Okay? So those are the animals and plants. Cactus are the plants. Trees also grow there. We also saw lots of animals that live in both habitats. Remember the owl, the fox? They live in both habitats, the woods and the desert, okay? So you can go on to the virtual classroom and you can look at this book and review it and look again at some of the animals and plants that live in the desert, okay? Thanks, guys.